For nearly a decade, Outlander has transported audiences into the sweeping romance of Jamie and Claire Fraser. But while fans were consumed by the battles, heartbreaks, and passionate love scenes on screen, what really unfolded behind the cameras was equally intense, sometimes dangerous, sometimes hilarious, and often tearful. Now, as the series bows out after 8 seasons and more than 100 episodes, Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe have peeled back the curtain, exposing the unforgettable incidents that defined their journey. From the start, Sam Heughan's portrayal of Jamie Fraser demanded more than charm and broadswords. It demanded physical sacrifice. In candid reflections, Sam admitted that some of the fight sequences left him battered and bruised. "There were times I'd go home with bruises I couldn't even explain," he confessed. "You throw yourself into these big fight scenes. You get thrown off horses. You take a hit or two. It's part of the job. But sometimes you realize you're carrying Jamie Fraser's pain on your own body." The horseback riding sequences were particularly notorious. Horses bolting unexpectedly, saddles slipping in the rain, and armor-heavy costumes made even routine shoots dangerous. Sam revealed one near accident where his horse reared unexpectedly mid-scene, nearly throwing him into a camera rig. "We laughed afterward," he said, "but it could have been bad." That's Outlander. You never know if you're about to shoot a beautiful love scene or land flat on your back in the mud. Caitriona Balfe, too, bore the brunt of Outlander's grueling filming conditions. Scotland's unpredictable weather became its own villain. She recalled shooting an emotional scene in freezing rain for hours on end. "By the time the director yelled cut, I couldn't feel my fingers," Caitriona admitted. "They had to wrap me in blankets and bring heaters just so I could speak my lines again. It was brutal, but it also made the moment real. Claire wasn't meant to look comfortable, neither was I." Her endurance became legendary on set. Crew members often joked that if Caitriona could survive Scotland's bone-chilling storms in period costumes, she could survive anything. Yet the hardship also deepened her performance, blurring the line between character and actress. Perhaps the most unforgettable incidents were those where the emotions of Jamie and Claire spilled beyond fiction. One such moment was the harrowing farewell scene at Culloden. Sam and Caitriona have since admitted that the tears shed in that sequence were not scripted. "That wasn't acting," Caitriona revealed softly. "Those were real tears. We knew how important that moment was for the fans, but for us it was also personal. We were saying goodbye, not just as characters, but as ourselves. Two actors who had lived through so much together." Sam echoed her sentiment. "When Claire and Jamie said goodbye, it was as saying goodbye to a piece of ourselves. That's why it felt so raw, so painful. We weren't pretending." For fans, those tears immortalized one of television's greatest love stories. For Sam and Caitriona, they marked the moment where the weight of 10 years on set came crashing down. Not every incident was steeped in danger or sorrow. The set of Outlander was also a stage for some of the funniest, most chaotic mishaps imaginable. Sam recalled a scene where a kilt malfunction nearly derailed filming. "Let's just say the wind was not on my side that day. Half the crew saw more of Jamie Fraser than they were meant to." Caitriona, laughing, chimed in with her own memory of runaway horses and collapsing props. "There was one time a bed literally broke during a love scene," she admitted, blushing. "We all burst out laughing, but you can imagine how long it took to reset." These behind-the-scenes blunders became part of the lore, whispered among cast and crew, later cherished by fans as proof that even epic dramas are stitched together by human imperfection. Through injuries, tears, and laughter, what emerged strongest was the bond between Sam and Caitriona. They weren't just co-stars, they were comrades who endured together. Every near accident, every tear-stained scene, every absurd moment of comic relief pulled them closer into what Sam calls the Outlander family. Those moments, Caitriona reflected, are why Outlander was more than just a show. We shared the pain, the cold, the laughs, and it made us a family. That's why it hurts so much to say goodbye. With the finale looming, fans are left with more than the fate of Jamie and Claire. They're left with the knowledge that behind every epic episode lay real sacrifices, real tears, and unforgettable chaos. And as Sam and Caitriona finally reveal these secrets, one truth stands clear. The magic of Outlander wasn't just on screen. It was born in the messy, beautiful, unforgettable incidents behind the cameras. The curtain may be closing on Outlander, but the stories Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe shared about their on-set lives prove that the true legacy of the series will outlive its final episode. It isn't only the sweeping romance of Jamie and Claire that has captivated millions. It's the raw, unfiltered humanity behind the cameras. The injuries, the laughter, the cold nights, and the tearful farewells are now part of the mythology, woven as tightly as the tartan that defined the show. For Sam and Caitriona, these on-set incidents were more than just anecdotes. They were defining experiences that forged an unbreakable bond. Sam has often described Caitriona as his anchor on set, someone who steadied him during the most grueling days of filming. In turn, Caitriona has admitted there were countless nights where she leaned on Sam for support after an emotionally draining scene. "We've been through everything together," Caitriona revealed. "From freezing rain in Scotland to laughter that stopped filming for hours. I've cried on his shoulder more times than I can count. That's what makes this goodbye so difficult. Outlander gave me Jamie Fraser as a partner on screen, but it also gave me Sam as a lifelong friend." These tearful truths, moments of vulnerability and reliance, mirror the very relationship they brought to life as Jamie and Claire. It's no wonder fans felt every word and gesture between them was authentic. The revelations about the behind-the-scenes struggles and joys hit the fandom like a tidal wave. Across social media, fans responded with both tears and laughter. Hashtags like #TearfulTruth, #OutlanderFamily, and #Sam and Caitriona trended worldwide. One fan wrote, "Knowing Caitriona cried in the rain just as Claire did makes the show feel even more real. They weren't acting, they were living these moments with us." Another added, "The kilt mishaps, the broken bed. These stories prove they gave us everything, even their dignity at times, to bring Jamie and Claire to life. I'll never forget that." In true Outlander fashion, fans turned grief into celebration. Watch parties, fan art tributes, and charity campaigns in honor of the cast's sacrifices sprouted across the globe. What emerged wasn't just nostalgia, it was community. For Sam and Caitriona, the memories of on-set chaos also symbolize their professional growth. Sam often points to the demanding action scenes as the training ground that prepared him for Hollywood action roles. Caitriona credits the emotionally draining sequences with shaping her craft, forcing her to dig deeper as an actress than she ever thought possible. "You don't forget freezing in the rain or laughing until you cry between takes," Caitriona reflected. "It taught us resilience, and it taught us joy. These memories, bittersweet as they are, will follow them into every future role. And for fans, they will always remain part of the larger-than-life tapestry of Outlander." The confessions also highlight something deeper. That Outlander was more than scripted drama. It was a lived experience, a decade-long journey that blended fiction with reality. The messy, chaotic incidents, the falls, the wind-blown kilts, the broken props, are reminders that art is created through imperfection. Sam captured it best. "What you see on screen is only half the story. The other half is the laughter, the exhaustion, the accidents, the tears. That's what made Outlander feel alive." It's that authenticity, the willingness to share not just the polished final product but the messy truth behind it, that cements the show's place in pop culture history. Though the series finale looms, both Sam and Caitriona are quick to remind fans that their bond, and the spirit of Outlander, will not end with the show. Sam has hinted at new projects in film, whiskey ventures, and even dreams of opening a bar. Caitriona has stepped into directing and producing, expanding her horizons beyond acting. Yet, both acknowledge that no matter where they go, Jamie and Claire, and the unforgettable incidents that shaped them, will always follow. Outlander was more than a job, Sam admitted. It was family. And you don't say goodbye to family. You carry them with you. And so, the tearful truth is this. What made Outlander unforgettable wasn't only the epic story on screen, but the human story behind it. The bruises Sam carried, the cold Caitriona endured, The laughter that echoed through Scottish hillsides. These are the moments that gave Jamie and Claire their soul. When the credits roll for the final time, fans won't just remember the romance of the Highlands. They'll remember the real people who lived through every chaotic, hilarious, heartbreaking moment to bring that romance to life. Because behind every unforgettable scene, there was an unforgettable incident. And behind every unforgettable incident, there was Heughan and Caitriona Balfe, carrying the weight of an entire legacy on their shoulders.